Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in the Ultimate Base 3.0. In the previous episode we have finished the petroleum/ethanol generator room. We have already partially started to fill it up with oil, and now we should be ready to actually get the contraption going. We are just waiting for this minor volcano. No, it's a major volcano, but we are still waiting for it to get active again so we can actually enjoy the fruits of our labor in the next cycle. Well, in the next active cycle of the volcano, that is. Something else we still have to do is supplement the missing supercoolant that we had. I think the loop is now only partially filled. Yeah. We need to fill all of this up with supercoolant and maybe a little bit extra for the liquid reservoir. But one comment in particular I wanna praise right off the bat. Oh my gosh, you don't know how much time I spent on this trying to fix it, and at some point I just figured, okay, maybe it is just slow to cool down the items, but that's not the case. It's always something that goes wrong. Thankfully, my mistake isn't game-breaking, it just made the system so slow that we now accumulated lots and lots of materials that we cannot cool down, because this somehow always managed to get really high up, and then sometimes when I checked on it, it wasn't that dramatic, and that was usually when, well, let's have a look at it. Can you see the mistake? Oh man, it is so brutal, so brutal. It's this freaking bridge, so we always have to keep an eye open for these things. You can really make your systems that much more ineffective, and I believe that might have been the reason why it didn't work with one aqua tuner and it didn't work with water as the coolant. So now we are going to be extremely overpowered once we fix that mistake, but essentially we'll have to get rid of that bridge, place it in a way so that it doesn't actually transfer the heat and the chill between those two rooms. And man, I'm so glad somebody noticed and actually made me aware of that, because I wouldn't have checked. So what we need to do now is get back into this room. I even filled it entirely up with supercoolant because I was so confused in between the episodes and I tried everything, but it just wouldn't work. Now, how are we gonna do this? We either have to move the bridge one over to the right or one over to the left. And to the left would be more practical, to be honest. Because if I had it here, then the items between those two lines would be alternating. And if I have it here, then the items coming from the top that need to be recycled will have the priority, and that is exactly what I would like to see. But it's going to be more difficult to build this, at least I'm assuming. I don't know. Let's place it here. Maybe I'll be able to build it, but I think you need to be able to access the center tile here to build the bridge. Well, we can easily figure out it's Hassan's current errand, so we might actually get lucky, get away with it. And there is my bridge. How wonderful is... Oh my gosh. Oh man. I'm so glad. I could literally cry about this. And now we can actually see that temperature going down steadily and not just very, very slowly. Yeah, this is absolutely incredible. It's gonna save me so much headache. It's just now we have an additional rail that I don't necessarily want, and we have this aluminium piece in there. But we might just have to live with that. What's happening here? I don't know. Okay, that is actually gonna revolutionize everything. Now, since we're already on this world, I can tell you that the 120 seconds with 1 kilogram didn't work. I think it is really a difference how much enriched uranium you have in there. Like right now we have approximately 6 kilograms in there, a little bit less, and I just cannot produce the same amount of heat as I was able to previously. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on here, but I rather have a little bit too much uranium in there, but it works. So for now I'm just gonna reset that timer so that we get another 10 kilograms of uranium in there, and I want to see if that makes a quick difference or not. I don't know, maybe it just takes a really long time to get everything heated up properly. We'll come back to this. Also, disabled by automation grid. That's not something I like to see. What did I set this to? 50 degrees is what I want my items at. Let's go to 75 as long as we're still cooling down. So at least we can get some items shipped over now. And look at this steam turbine. It can now completely go. This was always not functional because of the heat exchange there. But now we have actually proper temperatures in there. And my interplanetary launcher can be used once again. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Is there anything else I would like to send over? Like regolith. We do not need regolith on this planetoid. Isn't that a filtration medium? Yes, indeed. What else? We have quite a bit of gold amalgam here. I think I want to send that over too. And with that out of the way, we should have enough to actually ship over to the main planetoid now. And you know what? Since we are using supercoolant in this cooling loop, I'm gonna set this to 0 degrees again, as this is absolutely no issue with the supercoolant. Okay, now slowly the wattage is going up. I really think you need to get this baby running for a couple of cycles before it can produce the maximum amount of heat. Because right now it shouldn't be the enriched uranium, since I have quite a bit of that in there. And also in just a second we should be getting some new enriched uranium. Right now we have 15 kilograms because I launched a little bit more in there. But now every 600 seconds we're gonna add another 10 kilograms, which is happening right now. Okay. And the wattage went up another 10 watts or so. Okay, I think we just have to leave this running now. But the most important step we already took, and that is actually making the cooling of the refined metals even possible. And now we can finally start to dig away from all the resources we've already gathered up. Okay, now let's do the rocketry stuff. There's still a little bit in space that we want to explore. We actually did quite a bit of the map already, so now I'm gonna go into this region here. So maybe if we land over here, I can discover all of these tiles, and then we only have to do another trip to finish it off. This unknown object here could be the temporal tear. I don't know yet. Let's just go ahead and do this. This is my exploration rocket, and I wanna land over here. This would be the first tile to actually reach this. So I could go here and then maybe one more square in order to discover a little bit more before we have to turn back. Yeah, we just gotta do it. Let's launch that bad boy, begin the launch sequence. I just want to check, is it Ellie? Yeah, it's Ellie in the rocket, so we can launch this baby without thinking too much. And there she goes. Goodbye, Ellie. Have fun. Another thing we could think about is bringing over some more oil. At the moment, what do I have here? I'm missing 4 reservoirs of water. On the other side, we have way too many reservoirs. I don't think I need to fill this up right away again. We're just gonna launch this rocket. We want to load up petroleum and be on our merry way with Gosman. That means we're gonna change the destination here over to Crudial, gather some more petrol... No, wait, it's not the petroleum that I want. Right now, it's the oil that I want. Right, I want to bring over the raw oil in order to fill up our petroleum boiler. So good thing I realized that, but now we can go ahead and launch this rocket as well with Gosman. Where is Gosman? Also, let me kill off this guy with the next opportunity. Gosman! Where are you? No, wait a second. Seriously, where is Gosman? Gosman? Ah! He's in the freaking vertical wind tunnel. Okay. You know what, Gosman? I'm gonna allow that, just because it is such a nice thing. I also really like the cactus here on top of it. There we go. Now please go into the rocket and launch it. That would be great. Did I just see... Look at that! There is a little bit... Oh my gosh, this is just so nasty. This is one of the reasons I don't like the airflow tasks. They just prevent you from seeing if there is a little bit of water on top of it. And that gave my duplicants the wet feet debuff all the time. In the meantime, as you can see in the background, we have lots and lots of payloads coming in from Glowani. Now I can see a little bit of an issue here. We are actually getting closer to the overheat temperature of these thermal aqua tuners. Now that is intriguing to me because the items are not contributing to it. Like, the items are actually cooler than the entirety of the steam we have in here. Yeah, I gotta be careful. If we manage to bring this all the way up to 325, then we are gonna run into issues. How cold are we? We are at 30 degrees at the moment. Let me put this up to 40. Just because in a cycle or so we will have reached that temperature, and then I can see if that actually helps. Because we will not have these aqua tuners running 24/7. They only have to run occasionally, and therefore the temperature in the steam room itself is not going to be that dramatic. Actually, I'm going to bring this to 45 because I want to see what happens if the aqua tuners stop working. Will we be able to get this temperature down? And yes, indeed. Okay, so that is working. So I'm going to be waiting for this to go below the 200 degrees mark again, and then I'm going to go back to changing the temperature here. Let's have a look at our rockets quickly, just so that everything goes well. Oh, did we? Wait. Where's the rocket going to Crudial? Did we not launch that? Did I? Ah, begin launch sequence. Whoops, my bad. See ya! Gosman? Ah, there you are. Okay, wonderful. Finally, finally. Go, go, go. Thank you. We want that oil, please. Speaking of oil, looks like we were not able to extract everything, and that might be because... Why? Is it because of that? Are you serious? I just want to grab my oil. Is that too much to ask? Also, check this out. This is actually interesting. Wait, is this interesting? What am I doing here? Iron to ore. We have no iron ore. Wait a second. I know how to fix that. We could launch this rocket here as well. Is there a reason not to do this right away? Yeah, sure. We can have 3 space missions at the same time. Sure. Except Ellie and Gossman are off-world right now, and I would have preferred to use them to do that. Let me have a look at Coldito. Right over here, these volcanoes have been running the entire time, and it is visible, as we did collect quite a bit of iron. Like this stack here alone is 16.2 tons. So I would imagine if we fly over here and grab all of the iron, we should be totally fine. Also, on Glowani, we might actually have some of the iron ore. Let's maybe check that. Iron ore, 0 kilograms. Never mind. What about Crudial? On Crudial we have 18.6 tons. So that is what we want to send over next. What are we sending over? We are already doing that. So I don't even know what the problem is. The problem is we are not producing enough rat bolts on this planetoid. How could we change that? Well, we could for instance build a nuclear reactor just for the launcher. But I'm not so sure about this. Yeah, I mean, collecting rat bolts 16 per cycle, I mean, that is just absolutely ridiculous if we have a look at what we could produce. Like, what is it on Glowani? 226. It's really not worth it what I'm doing here. That was just for a emergency purpose to send over some fossils, you know? So it really might be worth it to set up a nuclear reactor, or we could do the same thing we do on Vivani here with this contraption. This is not too bad either. Producing 198 rats per cycle, and then with these outer ones there's 136 and 171. What's wrong with that? Body temperature. I know, we're getting too cold here. Who would have thought? This here is easier controllable. It is going to require a little bit of phosphorite, which we do have plenty of because of the Dracos. On the other side, the nuclear reactor is definitely producing more nuclear waste. Like, we could collect about 3,000 rat bolts here almost. What are we collecting here? 206. Yeah, the collection rate is a little bit different from the radiation. Like, the satellite here also has a radiation of 1,800. But of course it's not quite as good as the nuclear reactor itself. I don't really know. I haven't decided yet. Let's make sure we are not missing what's happening with the rockets here. Alrighty, Ellie just made her way back. I explored what I told you to explore. There was just some space debris here. Now we have to do one more trip in order to discover the entirety of this. And then within the next 2 episodes or so, we'll probably be done with the entirety of the map. I also managed to get the crude oil here together with Gossman. However, I still did not complete that rocket. I don't know why. But for some reason, I never hooked up the pipes that actually give me the water. And also I did run into a whole bunch of power problems when I had everything hooked up. So I disconnected the fridge and the pump here in order to allow the oxygen diffuser to do its thing. I'm probably going to be needing at least one more solar panel or so in order to get this properly working. But yeah, we never had the wall toilet filled up, so I did have a few accidents with Gossman. Let's not talk about it. Another thing I did is I disabled the diamond press for the time being by just disconnecting the automation wire here. So it's now not going to prompt the system to use the rat bolts to craft more diamonds, but we're going to be focusing on the rocketry program for a while. Also, I think apart from these 3 rat bolt rockets, I'm also ready to get into my first petroleum rocket. Especially now that we have our own personal petroleum boiler and we will not be needing crude oil in order to supply. Except, well, we need crude oil to supply the oil. What am I talking about? Also, looks like I now managed to get all my oil over into the respective tanks. That means I want to get rid of this. Yeah, this one here was just my temporary system. So all of these pipes and liquid reservoirs can actually go. We don't even need... What is this? Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need any of that anymore. We don't need this. Yeah, let's just get rid of everything. And instead, what we're going to be doing in the future is bringing the oil over here. So it can go straight down, over, and down into the system. Exactly the way we want it to. So now the only thing that's missing from this contraption is the supercoolant. Let's do that, but also there's something else. Yeah, if we want to get the petroleum out, at the moment we land here, but we want to complete this line. So we'll be hopping over here And I guess we don't have to deconstruct this pipe here. We can use it to continue. Is this still igneous rock? Yeah, but we're running out again. Yeah, our primary goal is going to be to fuel up additional rockets. So basically we can go to the left here and then start filling up the first petroleum rockets we'll have here. But right now I need my duplicants to disassemble a couple of pipes so we get that igneous rock back. I can hear my rocket returning. That is good. Did I just see an interrupted fuel line? No, that's okay. Good. And now we should see Gusman coming out of here. Let me actually check. What is he doing? Yeah, he just took a suit and is getting out of there. That's good. Let's reconnect the wires here. And before I forget, I need to build all the piping now. That means we want to get enough piping in the joint in order to fill up the toilet for a good round trip. We don't actually have to do the entirety of the interior. This is going to be plenty. I usually don't go through a lot of water this way. And I guess we'll have to remove one carpet tile in order to reach everything. But this is going to be so much better. Also, we have 3 solar panels on this rocket. This should be enough. I don't get why it's struggling so much. Yeah, the atmosphere checkpoint is probably a little bit of an issue here. I disabled the checkpoint for now so they can go in here with their atmosuits. But yeah, judging from what I've just experienced, the rat bolt engine is not going to be the engine we use to ship our liquids regularly or even the cargo. But we're going to make a switch for certain projects now to the petroleum engine. And if we have a look at the volcano, we do have a little bit of time to set this up. This is going to be active in 24 cycles. Let's say we leave some more space for a second extraction location. And then we go ahead, set up another rocket platform. So 2 spaces free, then the rocket platform, and then another rocket platform here. Did I do this right? Yeah, this should be enough space. So now we know the new dimensions of this room. That means another solar panel bites the dust. Actually, I wonder, should we have the unloaders all the way on the left side? I might even move these 2 guys in the future. They provide me with water and oxygen. No, actually that's fitting. Those are like the 2 necessities. But I might find it more beautiful if we had all the platforms adjacent to each other. So I think that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to be moving the liquid port unloader all the way to the left side of our platforms. That means my rocket platform actually goes here and then another one there, which would then allow us to place the unloader here and maybe even a second unloader. I like that. That means our new edge is going to be located right here, which is kind of okay, as we have to sacrifice a solar panel anyways. We then connect this and that. We'll also be adding the necessary steel tiles, so that's a row of 5 all the way down to here. I'm gonna be moving the ladder accordingly. Actually, we need to go up there. And of course, my power cable will also have to move slightly over, powering these guys up and then also connecting to the solar panel. Yeah, I like that idea. Let's go for it. Also, as soon as I recharge this rocket, I'm gonna be making another trip with Ellie in order to discover that little edge we missed. Alright, we started with the building project. I also prepared the pipe for the supercoolant. I already sent Ellie away in order to move over to Coldito and collect a little bit of the refined iron we gathered. And I reassigned Gosman to actually go with the Explorer rocket. So as soon as that is charged up, we're going to be doing that. I continued with the building project, but let's do the supercoolant first here. All I have to do is connect these 2 pipes, possibly, and the supercoolant is going to come down. I kind of hijacked the petroleum pipe in order to do that. And all I want to see is the cooling loop being filled up. So there are just a couple of packets missing. And then we're going to be adding just a little extra, like 500 kilograms in the liquid reservoir. There is the last little gap that I have to fill up. Wonderful. And now it's completed. Let's make sure we fill some up with the liquid reservoir. And I just want 500 kilograms in there. That's 450 and 500. There we go. Reconnect this pipe and the loop should continue. Now I just have to wait for this little gap to be filled up once again and then we should be fine. And there it is. Finally a completed cooling loop and we have 500 kilograms in there. This is perfect. Now I can remove that pipe again. And now we somehow want to get rid of this extra supercoolant. Since I have really good duplicants, I think I'm just going to extract it out of the pipes. That's going to be the easiest. Said and done, the old pipe has been emptied and now I can reconnect the petroleum pipe, which then will feed the rockets. Perfect. Now it's all about completing this building project, moving everything a little bit over and then resupplying the rockets at the moment. Let me check what's going on here. We still have 0.2 cycles until we reach the destination with Ellie. I'm already gonna make sure that we actually fill everything up with the iron ore. So all of these chests should be filled up. Is this priority 1? Let's just do a normal priority. And then when we finally arrive here, I guess we're just gonna take our sweet time to collect all the iron and get back. Check this out. From the volcano we already established here, we got more than 25 tons of iron, so more than one stack. Looks like we do not have enough atmosphere to actually cool down the smart battery here. So I think what I'm gonna be doing is drop a little bit of nuclear waste on it. Let's set up an airflow tile here. Wait, nuclear waste doesn't make sense. The freeze point is 26 degrees. We could certainly do some brine. I think I'm gonna be doing that. And there it is. Some of it is gonna freeze over again, but I think we're gonna be fine for a couple of cycles this way. It's not a system that I'm using at the moment anyway. I think we actually landed on Coldito, so let's make sure everything goes right here. Ellie is storing materials, that is good. She already brought the payloads over. Are we even using them anymore? Yeah, for the water I guess, but we do have enough now. We're also not going to be needing those pipes anymore because we found a way better way to actually get the water in there using temp shift plates made out of ice. But right now it's all about storing the refined iron as Vivani is in desperate need of it. Alright, with that out of the way, let's also make sure, Gosman here is the pilot and we can go on another exploration mission. We can go in either of those squares in order to reveal the entire terrain there. And I guess this one here seems more straightforward. Sure, let's settle for the exploded gas giant. We're gonna begin the launch sequence right away. Gosman, I gave him the skills necessary in order to do everything. Yeah, he can use the telescope and also has a good piloting skill. And there he goes. Goodbye, Gosman. Have fun. Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. But alright, I would say with that out of the way, we're gonna wrap it up for today's episode. I sure hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.